Well, happy Friday to everybody. Hope your week has gone well and you're looking forward to the weekend, whatever you happen to have planned for the weekend. We are at the next game at the June 24th date, 1987. It's game number 487 overall. We are in the state of Texas for the California Angels taking on the Texas Rangers. There's an 11 here, and there's a reason for that because the ballpark effects for Texas Stadium, Arlington Stadium, whatever it was called back then, are 11s for both sides of the house, home runs and singles. So 11 is the only number you need to know on that as far as ballpark effects go. Starting pitchers, Don Sutton for the Angels and Mike Loynd for the Texas Rangers. California is in second place in the American League West, trying to catch Oakland. They're at 37 and 34. Texas mired in last place in the AL West, 28 and 39. So, tale of two holds as well. Mike Loynd +9, so he's going to have a +5 regardless. So if you really went to the extreme here, he's a +7. Loynd's a +7 and Stanley's a +3. This could be a +10, but Strat thankfully limits it to +5. That's the worst you can get. So this is a good time to play Stanley because with his -7, no matter who you had here, you're not going to improve the +5. So it's a good time to go ahead and do Stanley, I guess. Sutton is a -2 with his hold. So, and a lot of that's due to Bob Boone because Sutton's a +1, but Boone's a -3. All right. And good morning, Trenton and Jeremiah. All right. So let's look at Mike Loynd before we get to the Strat-O-Matic computer, which I still haven't brought up yet. I'm running a little bit behind today. Tabby wanted some attention this morning, but right around I was getting ready to come up here, so I had to take care of what she wanted and then got up here. So let's bring this game up on the Strat computer so I can have all the information I need. And let's see here. I guess it was called technically Arlington Stadium was the name of the stadium in Texas. All right, so let's get to Mike Loynd. Not a very good pitcher, needless to say. Mike Loynd, he was 1-5 with a 6.10 ERA, so obviously not very good on the real season. So we look at the in his replay, he's 2-4 with a 7.52 ERA. So he's doing even worse as far as ERA goes. 53 innings pitched, but he's allowed 74 hits. He's also walked 26 and struck out 42. So how he won 2 games is beyond me. I guess Texas put a lot of runs on the board for him. His wild pitch is a 12. His walks a 0. We already said his hold is a +5. So Brian Downing, the designated hitter, will lead things off. Both teams pretty much a standard lineup. Nothing really out of the ordinary in their lineups today as far as I could tell. So Brian Downing hitting .324 on the replay, 18 homers, 51 driven in. He hit .272 on the real season. Good morning, Joel. Happy Friday to you. And before we throw the first pitch to Brian Downing, tradition says, ceremonial first sip. Man, that is good coffee. I'm actually behind on my coffee. This is only my second cup of the day. Usually I've had 2 cups before I come up here. But Tabby woke me up at 6 this morning, so I had a hard time getting back to sleep. And then when I did get back to sleep, I had a hard time getting up, so I didn't get up to almost 8. And so I usually get up around 7:15, and then I got up at 8 today, and it threw off my whole schedule. So I'm running behind, and we'll see if we can't move this thing along here. All right, so Brian Downing, your batter against Mike Loynd. I don't know if we got too much light on here. Is there any way to dim the light at all? I don't know. Take the light off. I'm thinking that might be better to not have that overhead light. I think that glare was a problem. So I think if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that this looks better. So, all right, here we go. Brian Downing. 2-3 for Brian Downing. Ground ball to short and easy play for Scott Fletcher, and that's 1 away. That'll bring up the right fielder. Hello, Dr. D. That'll bring up the right fielder, Devon White. Devon White on the replay. Well, let's put in Downing in the computer first before I do anything else. Devon White on the replay is hitting 282, 11 homers, 42 driven in. He hit 263 on the real season. Switch hitter, 4-9, and that's going to be a ballpark blast. And again, the key number for everything is 11. That's a 6, it's gone. Devon White has normal power. Anything under 11 singles and home runs will both be good from both sides of the plate. So Devon White, a home run. Hello, good morning, Dan. We got here just in time to see Devon White go deep, his 12th home run of the replay. He had 24 of them real world. It's home run 12, RBI 43 for Devon White as Arlington Stadium came through for him on that 4-9, the ballpark blast. Everything's an 11, and that's a 6. So there you go. Now it takes us to Wally World. Wally Joyner, he's hitting 308 on the replay, 18 homers, 46 driven in. He hit 285 real world. 1-5 for Joyner. He grounds it to first, and Pete O'Brien will just take it and step on the bag. Easy second out. And that'll bring up Doug DeSensei. DeSensei, third baseman. On the replay, hitting 241, 10 homers, 34 driven in. He hit 234 real world. 5-9, and that's a strikeout for Loynd. So other than a White home run, Loynd pitched pretty well, but that home run counts. It's 1-0 California as we go to the bottom of the first. And on the mound is ancient veteran Don Sutton. I believe he actually pitched in 88 for the Dodgers. I think he made a comeback tour with the Dodgers in 88, but by 87, he's pretty much done. Hall of Fame career, no doubt, but 87. Let's see what he did in 87. He was 11-11, not bad, but a 4.70 ERA. So that's, a lot higher than he would normally have in his career. I'm sure he got some decent run support in California. And let's see what he's done on the replay to this point. 11-11 with a 4.70 real world. 5-4 with a 4.20 in the replay. 90 innings pitched, 96 hits, 11 walks, 46 strikeouts. And the governor, Jerry Brown, will lead things off for Texas. Brown hitting 274, 2 homers, 18 driven in. He hit 271 real world. Switch hitter, 5'10", and that's going to be a ballpark single check. And again, 11's the magic number. That's a 17, so no magic there. He lines it to second base. And there's one away. Scott Fletcher steps up. Fletcher hitting 308, a homer and 37 driven in. He hit 267. I'm sorry, he hit 287 real world. 4-11 for Sutton. Ground ball first base X. That's Wally World. He's a 1. We know he's going to get to it. We're just checking the error. And on the E11 for first baseman, get this chart here. E11. Well, we'll show it to you yourself. 6. It's a 6, 8, 15, 3, and 18. That is a 12. That's just fine. So Joyner ranges, gets to it, flips to the veteran covering, Sutton. Sutton's a veteran. He knows from way back in many spring trainings that when the ball's hit the first, you run there as a pitcher to cover the bag. And that's what he does. 2 quick outs, and that's going to bring up Ruben Sierra. Sierra hitting 277 on the replay, 20 homers, 48 driven in. He hit 263 real world. Another switch hitter, 4-6, and that's a fly to center field. Run down out there by Gary Pettis. He can run a lot of stuff down out there. And that's going to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Rangers. We played 1 here in Texas. It's California 1, Texas nothing, as the Angels try to catch the hot Oakland A's. Jack Howell, a left-handed hitting left fielder, is going to lead things off for the Angels. He's hitting 275, 8 homers, 23 driven in. He hit 245 real world. 4-9, and that's the same thing that happened to Loynd the first inning. He got the 4-9 ballpark blast. Howell with normal power, but this time it's above an 11. So it'll be just a deep fly to right. So the difference the D20 makes right there. All the difference in the world. So Jack Howell flies deep to right field. Sierra at the track makes the catch. And here's Bob Boone, the catcher. And that's got to be one of the oldest batteries going in this game here with Bob Boone and Don Sutton. You talk about some experience there. All right, Bob Boone, 237 ERA, a homer and 10 driven in. He hit 242 real world. 4-7, and that's a walk by Loynd, his first, to go with one strikeout. I have not seen that. I don't go to Barnes and Nobles, so I don't know. When you say special edition, what is it? Is it is it an edition that only went to Barnes and Nobles, and so like it's a collector edition, or is it like, one of their Hall of Famers or enemies, or is it like the board game for the last season? What exactly are they? I'd have to go. Like I said, I don't really go shopping much at all. Period. But oh, he did. Okay, I'll have to take a look at it. I sadly admit I don't go much to the forums either, so I'm kind of not anti-social media, but I just don't use it that much. In fact, there was a word in a group of people that I learned about yesterday. Oh, wow. Wonder how much they're charging for it. Huh. That could be interesting. I wonder how much they're charging for it. You probably don't get the extra players. It's probably just the base 27 players per team or something. So I don't know. $70. Okay. That's about what it would cost if you ordered it off of Strat when you throw in the shipping. If you just got the basic game, if you got the game with all the parts and the basic set without the extras, it would probably run you at least 70, if not more. But there was a word, and I got to find it now. Hopefully, I can find it. It's not actually a word. It's like a people, a type of people that are definitely related to, and now I can't find it. Man, wish I knew what that was now. And I can't find it. When I get to it, if I heard it, I would know it, and if I see it again, I'll know it. But basically, I do kind of look at Facebook. Oh, cool, 75% off. But who knows what they're going to charge you to ship it, though. Of course, I'm being cynical about Strat and their shipping. But there was a post on Facebook. Like I said, I do look at Facebook. I don't post on Facebook very often. Very rarely do I ever post anything on Facebook. But I do watch it. And there was, I think it was in the Strat-O-Matic one. I'm not sure. There was a guy that basically said he's old school. He doesn't use AI. And it was a word for it. And there's actually a group of people that the word came from. So I'd have to go back and look at my old Facebook feed and see if I can remember. But I definitely related to it. With all the new craze with the AI and stuff, I definitely related to the simplicity of the guys like, I only do cards and dice. That's it. You got it, Dan. Luddite. The Luddites. So I think the Luddites were actually like people, a group of people, maybe like the Amish or something that didn't do technology or whatever. Now, I'm a Luddite when it comes to this. Now, I'm not a Luddite because I guess fully because I do use a Strat computer to keep my stats. I don't do hand stats, but as far as playing the game and presenting it, I'm about as close to a Luddite as you can get. There's no AI, there's no OBS or anything like that. So, oh yeah, I'll have to. You said, I wonder if does Barnes and Noble have a website I can go to? I don't really want to go to the Barnes and Noble store unless I have to. But I'd be curious if you could, order it off their website and have it mailed to you or whatever. I guess I don't go to Barnes and Noble, so. Oh, they have a huge game area now. All right, so it's not just books anymore, huh? All right. Well, Trenton, I guess you fall into the Luddite category too. So I learned that word, and I was like, really, man, I can relate to the Luddite stuff because In stores only. Okay. Well, the Walmart I go to is right next to a shopping center that has Barnes and Nobles. So maybe I'll sneak in there and see what they've got, just to kind of look around and see what they've got for that. Could be interesting. That would be a heck of an unboxing. I guess you can't unbox it because it wouldn't be in. It would be already there. You know, it would be kind of a unauthentic unboxing, I guess. All right, back to the game. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Dick Schofield is the batter. Boone's not going to be held. So our first havoc roll of the game. Oh, cool, Jeremiah, it is. Okay. Here's Schofield, 4-6, and another walk for Loynd. So Loynd, 2 walks in a row. That's not helping the cause. And that brings up Gary Pettis. There you go, Dan. That's a great point. If you go in and buy one, then maybe somebody who might be curious about Strat there might be a way to get Strat out to people that don't know about Strat. And if we take it away and get it for ourselves, yeah, that's a tough call on that one. Here's Pettis. 6-9. And that's ground ball second base C, so the runners will advance. And we're going to have our first clutch situation of the game, belonging to Mark McLemore, with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Trenton, Strat does a lot of things, they do things I don't understand, and they don't do things that I wish they would, that I think would help them. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to say. All right. Here's Mark McLemore. 2 outs, clutch situation for McLemore. In the clutch against right-handers, he will lose a couple of hits right here, 2-9 and 2-10. So he's got to avoid those. 112 is a low max, but there are already 2 outs, so it doesn't matter. Just a line out to second to end the inning. So Loynd pitches out of the mess. I mean, I've done videos on Strat-O-Matic and what I think they should do or whatever, but I mean, to me, you can't tell me that Strat announced they were going to release the 1975 and 1979 sets in super advanced updated versions, that they wouldn't sell out in 2 seconds. I mean, come on, you're going to make money that way. You want to make money? That's how you make money. I mean, come on. All right. So Don Sutton. All right, so I'm getting away from my computer. My Strat computer. I need to input this information in the Strat computer. I've been failing on my job here. So let's see here. We got a walk to Schofield. We got a ground out to second. And then we have a line out to second. All right, now we're back to Pete O'Brien. He's hitting 270 on the replay, 13 homers, 33 driven in. He hit 286 real world. 5-5, and that is a line out to second base. McLemore snags it, 1 away. Here's Larry Perry. Yep, Dan explained it perfectly there, Trenton. It's like if you had a +7 catcher or +9 pitcher and he's so bad, even Johnny Bench couldn't help him out. You could have Johnny Bench being a -4 arm, he'd still be a +5. All right, here's Larry Parrish, designated hitter. He's hitting 259 on the replay, 12 homers, 35 driven in. He hit 268 real world. 2-7, and that is a single to left field for Larry Parrish. First hit for the Rangers. Parrish, very minimal speed, is not going to go anywhere. And here comes Pete Incaviglia, left fielder. He's hitting 258, 14 homers, 44 driven in. He hit 271 real world. First havoc roll for Sutton. Nothing going on. 311, and that's a ballpark blast for Pete Incaviglia, and that's gone. The magic number's 11. That's a 3. 2-run home run, Pete Incaviglia. And just like that, the Texas Rangers take a 2-1 lead. Sutton was prone to give up the long ball, and he certainly did it here. But this one, you blame that on the stadium right there. 311 ballpark blast. Incaviglia home run number 15 on the replay. He had 27 of them real world. That was his 15th on the replay. RBIs 45 and 46. And Texas takes a 2-1 lead. Hello, Brown. Good to see you. Here is O-Matic McDowell. McDowell hitting 213 on the replay, 4 homers, 20 driven in. He had 241 real world. 2-9, and he will ground it to McLemore for out number 2. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Mike Stanley, catcher. He's hitting 227, 3 homers, 9 driven in. He had 273 real world. 5-4, and that's a pop out to second base, and that will end the inning. So a 2-run home run off the bat of Pete Incaviglia. Dan, if I was to go to Barnes & Noble's just to save me, because I haven't been in their store for a long, long time, but maybe to save me some time walking around aimlessly trying to find this thing, what section should I know it's a game section, but the game section still has to be broken up into several things. Is it like where they have Dungeons and Dragons? Is it where they have, other sports games? Is it maybe it's off on a side shelf all by itself? If the best of your recollection, or have you been in there to see it? I guess is the other question. I don't know. I may be presuming too much there that you've actually gone in there and see it. You may not. I don't know. So we go to the top of the third. And here comes Brian Downing. But I love seeing Strat in stores. I wish they'd, do that. I remember that's where I got Status Pro, was in KB Toys back in the day. That's how I found out about Status Pro. I would never have known about Status Pro had they not been in KB Toys. All right. Here's Brian Downing. 4-8 against Loynd, and that is another walk. That's the third walk issued by Loynd. That's going to get him into trouble. And that brings up Devon White. He homered his first time up. 5-3, and that is a fly ball right field X. We are looking at Sierra. He's a 2, but an E12. The E12 could be problematic. That's a 4, but that 14 on the E12 looks a little scary. And 2 and a 4, he might get to it. I don't know. I think 2 and a 4, he does get to it. He does. It's an F1. The runner would advance on an F1, but I'm more worried about the error. That's a 14, and he's an E12. And that is a 2-base error right there. 2-base error right there. Now, in my opinion, let's see here. 2-base error. Where'd it go here? It was an F1, right? Now, see, this one doesn't make sense to me. This is a new play. Maybe Dan or somebody else that is a big-time Strat player can talk me through this, because this kind of almost doesn't make any sense to me. We got a 2-base error, but originally it was an F1. So on an F1, the runner would have made second base. So to me, if he's going to make second base and it's a 2-base error, he ought to score. But this is saying he only goes to third. So I'm going to play it that way. I'm going to leave him at third base, but just logically, because if it's an F3, he still only get to third. But the fact it's an F1, he would have moved up anyway. And then you add the 2-base error on top of that. That just seems like he ought to get up a little, to score. But I'll just put him at third base, I guess, for simplicity's sake. But just for some reason, it just didn't jive with me. But maybe I'm overthinking it here. So either way, it's a 2-base error on Ruben Sierra, and the Angels are in business. Second and third, nobody out. Second and third, nobody out. Infield is back. They need outs. Here is Wally Joyner. 2-7, and that it doesn't matter. They're going to score anyway. Let's double. 1-4 is a double. That's 17 to be a single 2-star. So both runs are going to score anyway. It's a moot point. And just like that, the Angels have reclaimed the lead. 2-run single from Wally Joyner. And it didn't take long for the Angels to reclaim the lead now at 3-2. Here's Doug DeSensei. 6-8, and that's going to be a strikeout for Loynd. His second. Everybody on California seems to have figured out Loynd, except for DeSensei. He struck out twice, while all the other players are getting their good licks in. He's striking out twice. Just the way the dice are. Here's Jack Howell. That's a 2. Chance for Balker pass ball. Looking at pass ball rating, that's not good because Stanley's a 17 on his pass ball. And it's an 18, so he blocks it. How about that? Yeah, I guess that's true, Dan. When you think about it, he has to hold to make sure it's caught. All right. So here is, because he's back at the bag. I guess he's technically on first base when the play is attempted to be made, and when it's not caught, he gets the 2 bases from first base to third base. I guess that makes sense. Just for whatever reason, I had a little thing there thinking he should have had an extra base, but I guess not. 3-7, and that's a single 1-11. That's a 19 is going to line it to second, and that is out number 2. So Loynd tried to pitch around the error. And now now we have Bob Boone, and Boone walked his first time up. 4-4. That's a ballpark single, 1-11. That's 16, so he will fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So that actually is is 2 unearned runs there. Neither one of these runs are earned because that play should have been made. He would have still been at first. The single would have only gotten him to third, and with these 3 outs here, those are unearned runs against Mike Loynd. But they count nonetheless. So you can't find any solace from the fact that they're unearned. They still count up on the board against you. Bottom of the third, 3-2 California. And here is Steve Buechele, number 9 hitter for the Rangers. He's hitting 239 on the replay. 7 homers, 30 driven in. He at 237 real world. 111, and that is a base on balls. That's the first walk issued by Sutton. Buechele, not much of a threat to run. He will hold, and here's Jerry Brown, Governor. 5-8 switch hitter, and that is a line out to short. Here's Scott Fletcher. 1-5 for Fletcher, and that is a ground ball to third base. Hey, that's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop had nothing to do with this one, but it's still a double play, and that's going to end the inning. Round the horn double play. I still think I need like a Dodge or somebody to advertise this. With the Rams having the horns be around the horn. Got to find some kind of advertisement for that. All right. So we go to the fourth. It's now a 3-2 California lead. And Loynd facing Dick Schofield. That's a 5-4, and that's going to be an in-home run chance, 1-17. That's an 8, and Schofield has normal power. That ball is gone. Home run, Dick Schofield. Don't think of him as a home run hitter. He hit 9 of them real world. This is his 5th on the replay. But on the 5-4, it is an in-home run chance on a 1-17, a triple on a 18-20. That's an 8, and he has normal power. So Schofield gives the Angels now a 4-2 lead. And here is Gary Pettis. And Loynd may not be around too much longer. Again, both teams have the day off tomorrow, so you can use the bullpen can be used liberally, as they will get that rest day. 111 is a ballpark single check. Again, 11 is a magic number. That's a 17, so he flies to right. One away, and here's Mark McLemore. 2-6 for McLemore, and he's going to draw yet another walk. That is the 4th walk issued by Loynd. And McLemore, with that +5, it's awful juicy, so he's going to try for the lead, 4, 5, or 6 to get the lead. If he gets the lead, he's going to go 18 being held as a 16, but the +5 is a 21. So 19 is the highest you can have. T rating to throw in error for Stanley is an 8. That's probably not going to happen, so we'll throw through anyway. Nope, he's safe. Stolen base for McLemore. So McLemore, let's get his stolen base, real world and replay. And oddly enough, the 87 cards don't even mention stolen bases. So on the computer, I'll look at his computer notes here. He stole 25 bases real world, got caught 8 times. This is his 13th steal. He's only been caught once. So 13th stolen base for Mark McLemore. He's in scoring position with 1 out for Brian Downing. Hello, Jason and JC. Good to see you. Downing, 6-5 on Loynd is a strikeout, a much-needed strikeout for Loynd, his 3rd. Not out of the woods yet, though. Clutch situation coming up for Devon White, who has homered and reached on a 2-base error. That's a 1, so Loynd, possible wild pitch, and his wild pitch rating is a 12. 1-12. Nope, it is blocked by Stanley, so keeps it in play. But with McLemore at 2nd, still a clutch situation, and in the clutch, he will lose a couple hits here, 2-8 and 2-11. That's a 111, though, and that's a ballpark blast. Not good if you're Texas. That's an 8. That's an 11. That's gone. Devon White does it again. His 2nd home run of the game, courtesy of the ballpark. He did it on the 4. He did it on the 4-9 the first time on Loynd's card. And now he does it on his own card. So you've heard about switch hitters hitting home runs from both sides of the plate. How about a switch hitter hitting home runs from both cards, pitcher card and batter card? That could be a thing. I don't know. So his home run there is number 13 on the season, or on the replay, I should say. 13th home run of the season, 2-run shot. RBIs 44 and 45. He had 34 home runs in the regular season, so it's not unusual, as Tom Jones would sing, that happened. But it is now 6-2, and Loynd not much longer for this game. Here's Joyner. Whoop, we got the die got hung up there. So Bobby Valentine's looking for bullpen help next inning. 5-10, and that is a ballpark single check. Again, it's 11's a magic number. It's a base hit. But they're going to let Loynd pitch to the Sensei. He struck out the Sensei twice, so they figure maybe he's got, his number. We'll see. 3-4, and he does. He popped him up to 3rd. So all this hitting by California, and poor Doug DeCensei is 0 for 3. Just the way it goes. 3 runs come in for California to take a 6-2 lead. That'll do it for Mike Loynd. He is out of here. He only makes it 4 innings. And we'll get the totals on Loynd, close out his horrific day. And, of course, Don Sutton's very happy to be getting all this run support. So go to our box score for Loynd. He's going to pitch 4 innings, give up 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 of which were earned because these 2 were unearned. 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. And now we look at the Texas bullpen and see who they might want to go to. Probably Paul Kilgus. He's got some good relief work. Paul Kilgus has a 3 for relief rating. So does Jeff Russell. So I'm not sure who they might go to here. Looks like they're going to go to Kilgus. I think Paul Kilgus is going to be coming on for the Rangers. He adversely from Loynd, Loynd being the +7 hold. Kilgus is a -6. So the +3 makes him a -3. So Kilgus will be the new pitcher for Texas in the 5th inning, as Loynd had a rough outing. Go to the bottom of the 4th, and of course Don Sutton enjoying all this run support. And he'll be facing Sierra, O'Brien, and Parrish. And of course it was Sierra's 2-base error the previous inning that caused 2 runs to come in. Hello, Brown. Good to see you. All right. So Sierra flew to center his first chance. We get a 1-6, and that is a ground ball to Schofield. 1 away. Sutton going for that shutdown inning. Keep that big lead he's got. 4-run lead. Here's O'Brien. 3-11 for O'Brien. Ballpark single. Again, 11 magic number. He gets a base hit. So Pete O'Brien a base hit. Brings up Larry Parrish, designated hitter. Parrish singled his first time up. Of course, you got the dangerous Incaviglia on deck, who's already homered. 6-8, and that's a single 2 stars. So that'll put runners on the corners with 1 out. For Pete Incaviglia, a long ball here, and Texas will be right back in this game. Infield back for the double play. They'll concede the run to try to get a double play. Here's Incaviglia. 2-10 for Incaviglia, but it's not going to happen. Clean as a baby's butt, as Mr. Goodman would say. Look at this. Close up. He's done it again. Pete Incaviglia, the 2-10 against right-handers. It is clean as can be. Dr. D, that's one of my things, too, is the rare plays, quite frankly, stink. So I would love to see them come up with some good rare plays. But 2-10, a 3-run shot for Pete Incaviglia at 6-5. Don Sutton can't stand prosperity. He's been given a 6-2 lead. Now all of a sudden he's just basically giving it away. Home run number 16 in the game, second of the game for Incaviglia. 16th overall on the replay. 3-run shot is now 6-5. And for Incaviglia, that's RBIs 47, 48, and 49. Just like that, it's a 1-run game. And now Sutton may not make it 5 innings the way this is going. Here's O-B McDowell. 2-6, and that's a strikeout. I'm not sure Strat needs to make them quite as robust as replay does, but give us something a little bit more than just a ball bouncing off the pitcher's mound and going to the fielder. I mean, that's pretty much a joke. All right, here is Mike Stanley, 3-8, and that's a 7 for a single, 1-7, but that's an 18. He lines it to short, and that's going to do it. But the 3-run home run from Incaviglia, he's got all 5 runs batted in for Texas. At the end of 4, it's California 6 and Texas 5. And now, new pitcher Paul Kilgus is on. Left-hander. We'll get the numbers on Kilgus. See what he's done on the real-world season and on the replay. And we got to bring Kilgus in on the computer. So let's get Kilgus in here. There he is. Paul Kilgus. All right, Paul Kilgus. If we look at his real-world numbers for Paul Kilgus. Oh, there he is, Paul Kilgus. He is 2-7 with a 4.13 ERA. 2-7, a 4.13 ERA. Go to the computer to see what he's done on the replay. He is 1-1 with an ERA of an even 6. Just 12 innings pitched, 11 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. So limited sample size. But we'll see what happens here when he faces Jack Howell. Lefty on lefty matchup. 6-5, and that's a base on balls. Not what they wanted. Bobby Valentine might go back into disguise if they keep pitching like this. Here's Bob Boone. Four 8. Single on a 1-7. That's a 4. Base hit. 1 star. And now we get to Schofield. First and second, nobody out for Schofield. He's an A bunter, but he just hit a home run, so we're not going to have him bunt here. We're going to have him swing away. 3-5, and he grounds it to short B, fielder's choice. Runners are now at the corners with 1 out, and Gary Pettis. Kind of hard to double up Gary Pettis for sure. So they're going to play the infield in. They're going to play in. Try to choke that runoff at the plate. 4-6, it doesn't matter. That's a base hit. And 8 is a double 2 stars, so it doesn't matter at all. That's a double for Gary Pettis, RBI double. Howell will score to bring the lead back to 7-5. Schofield will stop at third base. RBI double from Gary Pettis, and now the infield's in again from Mark McLemore. Second and third, 1 out. There is no pitching. There is no pitching in this game apparently. 1-3, and that's a ballpark single check, and that's a base hit. RBI single from McLemore. Scoring is Schofield. Going to third is Pettis. First and third. And McLemore will be held, but will not try to steal. Infield now back for the double play to try to turn the double play on the slow running Downing. 2-3, and it's a fly ball, right field B question mark. So Pettis, a 17, you add 2 to that, makes it a 19. -2 from Sierra is a 17. So 1-17, it'll be a good sacrifice fly. And it is sacrifice fly from Brian Downing. Scoring the quick moving Pettis. 3 runs are in, so the 3 runs they gave up to get them right back, and it's now 9-6 or 9. That's a Dolly Parton 9-5, actually. Dolly Parton 9-5 game. 2 down for Devon White. One 4, and against a left-hander, that's a ballpark single check, so that's going to work as well. Texas Stadium giving up, or Arlington Stadium rather, giving up a bunch of hits. First and second, 2 outs for Wally World. He's 2 for 3. First time facing the lefty. 6-9, and that's a strikeout for Kilgus to end the inning. But 3 more runs come in. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 9-5 Texas, or California rather. So Sutton will face Bouchel, Brown, and Fletcher. He's got to get through the inning to qualify for the win. You have to go 5 innings. That rule has not changed. I'm surprised it hasn't been updated with the new way pitching is done. I'm surprised they haven't updated that to give them to go, say, either 4 innings or just straight out official score prerogative. I do think that needs to be changed because the way they control pitchers now, not many of them are going to go 5 innings. So the starting pitchers aren't going to get a lot of wins. All right, here's Bouchel. Here is 5-8, and that's going to be a strikeout for Sutton. That is just his second. Here's Jerry Brown. 5-7, switch hitter, and that's another strikeout. So Sutton coming back with a vengeance here, showing he's still got something left in the tank. And here's Scott Fletcher. This is his fatigue inning, but he hasn't given up anything, so the dots aren't effective yet. That's a 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. We're looking at Jack Howell. He is a 4E4 for Jack Howell. 4E4, 4 and a 3. That could be interesting. I think that's going to drop in for a base hit. 4 and a 3 is actually going to be a double. That's a 10. I don't think there's any errors on 10s there. There are not. All right, so it's a double for Scott Fletcher as Howell unable to get to it. And that'll bring up Ruben Sierra. Still a clutch situation. Sierra is 0 for 2. 2-2, and that's a straight-out home run for Ruben Sierra. Clean as can be. Big bold letters there. Ruben Sierra goes deep. A 2-run home run. It's 9-7. Sutton trying to hang on and get that win, but he's got to get one more out to qualify. And you wonder how much longer that Gene Mauch can go with him. For Sierra, home run number 21 on the replay. He had 30 real world. These are RBIs 49 and 50. It is now a 9-7 game. And here is Pete O'Brien. One more base runner, and Sutton will reach fatigue. 6-9, and that's going to do it for Sutton as far as reaching fatigue. But they still want to try to finish the inning, I think. Base hit for O'Brien. So Sutton is now officially tired. So if he hits one of the dot results, it's an automatic pull in my rule book. But he's going to try to get Larry Parrish out, although Parrish is 2 for 2. 3-2 for Parrish. He hit him. Wow. I'd love to get Sutton this win, but I don't think we can do it because he's going to get ready to face Incavilla, who's homered off of him twice. So I think it might be time to pull him. I hate to do it because he's not going to get the win. But quite frankly, he hasn't pitched well enough to get a win. So sorry, Mr. Sutton. You're not going to get the win, as you will come up a third of an inning short. Can't close the book on him. He can actually be the loser in this game, too, because he's responsible for both of these runners. So we look at the California bullpen, but there's no way they're going to let a tired Don Sutton face a guy who hit 2 home runs off of him already. So they will go to the bench, and they will go to the Moon Man, Greg Minton. So Greg Minton will be coming on to pitch for Sutton. Sutton given 9 runs of support, but can't finish the 5 innings to get the win. I gave him every opportunity I possibly could. Let's see. Hold is a 0, so it's a -3. So Minton is on. Minton, Greg Minton, in the 87 season, if I can get this to focus right, was 5-4 with a 3.08 ERA on the real season. And on the replay to date, he is 2-2 with a 1.01 ERA. So he's been immaculate in this replay. 27 innings pitched, only 19 hits, 5 walks, 17 strikeouts. Plus he's got 2 saves. So he has been impeccable in the replay. See if that continues. It's a clutch situation for Incavilla. Incavilla is kind of sorry to see Sutton go. 2-9, but that's a 1-2 home run. 12 is going to be a double. It's a double for Incavilla. It's going to score O'Brien. Let's see if Parrish can score. The double is assumed to go to center field. McDowell has a -1 arm. Parrish runs at a 10. There were 2 outs. Yeah, there were 2 outs. So it bumps him up to a 12, not being held as a 13, -1's a 12. 1-12. 1-12. I'm sorry, center fielder is Pettis. What am I talking about? So that's going to be even higher. Let's redo this. 10, not being held as an 11. 2 outs is a 13. The +1 is a 14. 1-14, they're going to send him. And he's in there. So a 2-run double for Pete Incavilla. He has driven in 7 runs in this game. And now Sutton has a chance to take a loss as he's responsible for all of these runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 9 runs. Actually, Actually, it's a tie game. Now, he can't take the loss. I take it back. I was misspoken there. So he gave up the 9. All these runs are counted against him now. 9 runs in 4 2/3 innings for Sutton. Boy, that's bad. Incaviglia is the man. 9-9 tie. Let's go to the box score and get the numbers on Sutton. So Sutton and Loynd both get off the hook in this one. Sutton 4 2/3, 8 hits, 9 runs, all earned, a walk and 3 strikeouts. That's not going to help the old ERA anytime soon. So now, with the score tied, here's O-Matic McDowell. Clutch situation for McDowell. It is 9-9 here in the 5th. 1-7, that's a strikeout, and they finally get out of it. But a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning. And at the end of 5 complete, it is 9-9. Don't know if I've had a score like this before, where I've had where one team gets a lot of runs, but I've never had it I don't think I've ever had it where both teams have scored almost double digits, and we still got 4 innings to go. All right, Kilgus now. It's a brand new ball game. Forget the first 5 innings. We're starting off fresh. Kilgus against the Sensei, who needs a fresh start. He's 0 for 3. First, I got to put McDowell in here as a strikeout so I can get that lined up now for the Sensei. 3-9 for the Sensei. That's a split. 1-5 is a single. That's a 1, so the Sensei joins the hit parade. It was his first at bat against the lefty. Maybe that made a difference. Here's Jack Howell. The Sensei no threat to run, not being held. Howell 2-2 against the lefty. It's a Lomax plus injury. So it's a line drive double play. He hits it to Jerry Brown, who will throw back to first base and double off to Sensei, who got too far off of there. So it's a Lomax double play and a chance for an injury. That certainly helps out Mr. Kilgus. And now we'll roll for injury. 1-6, he can stay in the game. 7 or higher, he's got to leave. And he stays in the game. He fights it off. Bob Boone now. 1-6 for Boone against the lefty. He's going to ground it to short, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 9-9. All right. Here is Mike Stanley against the Moon Man, Greg Minton. Oh, we got one die didn't go through, so re-roll the whole thing. Come on, get out of here. 1-4 for Stanley against the righty, and that's a fly ball to center field. 1 away. Number 9 hitter Steve Buechele. He is walked and struck out. 4-8. He will walk once more. So the go-ahead run's on base. Not much speed there, but it's on base anyway. And here's Jerry Brown. He's 0 for 3 from the leadoff spot. Your leadoff hitter is 0 for 3, but you scored 9 runs in 5 innings. 4-4, switch hitter. That's an in-home run chance, 1-3. It's a 4. It'll be a double for Jerry Brown. Double again is assumed to go to center field. Buechele, not being held, would be a 13. Plus 1's a 14. Wow, they're going to send him 1-14. They're going to send him. And then California has to decide, do you cut the run? If you don't cut the run, Brown's going to take third base. And then you got to bring the infield in. Man, 1-14 is a 70% chance. They're going to let the run score. They want to keep Brown at second base. They don't have to bring the infield in. So it's an RBI double for Jerry Brown. And the Rangers had the lead for the first time, 10-9. So the Moon Man's getting beat around too. So here's Scott Fletcher. 1 out runner at second. California gave up the 1 run, but they don't want to give up a second run. That's what they're playing against. 1-3 is a hit by pitch. That's another hit by pitch. As we had Parrish hit earlier. So Bobby Valentine taking objections to that. First and second. And here's Sierra. He hit a 3-run homer. Or not a 3-run, he hit a 2-run homer his last time up. That's a 1-9, and this time he grounds to the 5-4-3 double play around the horn once again to end the inning. But the Angels get out of it with just one run. It could have been a lot worse. And that might be it for the Moon Man. I think they're going to take the Moon out of here. So inning and a third for Minton. He's going to give up a run, which was earned. He's going to walk one, hit a batter, and give up 2 hits and 1 strikeout. So 10-9. Oops, I'm sorry. Got the wrong scoreboard there. I was thinking I was in the 6th and it's in the 7th. There's my little correction tape here. Don't want to be premature and give California a run. If they get one this inning, fine, but I want to make sure they earn it. Top of the 7th. Kilgus still out there. He's in line to get the win. Mr. Kilgus. And he'll be facing Schofield, Pettis, and McLemore, bottom of the order for California. And Schofield had a good day. He's 1 for 2 with a home run. 2-4, and that's a line out to short, 1 away. And that'll send up Gary Pettis. Doubled his last time up. 4-4, switch hitter batting right. That's a 1-12 home run. That's an 11, but he has weak power, so he will settle with the single. But of course, he is a big threat to steal the bases. Needs a 5 or a 6 to get the lead. Does get the lead. The D20 didn't go through, but I'll roll it now to make sure there's no pickoff or anything. There's not. So now we're going to calculate his steals. He's 19, being held to 17. 17 minus 3 to 14. Still a 70% chance, 1 to 14. And he's in there. It's a possible throwing error on Stanley. He's a T8. No throwing error, but it is going to be a stolen base for Pettis. Some people might not have stolen with down by run like that, but I thought a 70% chance was a good idea. Pettis on the season and on the replay, on the real season, stole 24 bases, got caught 5 times. This is his 11th steal of the replay. He's been caught 3 times. So 3 stolen bases for 11 stolen bases for Pettis on the replay. He's in scoring position as the tying run for Mark McLemore. That's a 2-7 against the lefty, and that's a walk. So now Kilgus running into problems. Wonder if he might need some relief. Downing is coming up. See what Kilgus can do. 2-9, and that's going to be a strikeout. 2 down, and that's Devon White. Clutch situation. Boy, he's hit 2 home runs already, but they were both against Loynd. So he has not hit one against a lefty yet. He hasn't hit one from both sides of the plate. That's a 1, so wild pitch chance on Kilgus. Got to go to the computer for that. His wild pitch chance is a 0, so no balk, no wild pitch for Kilgus. So here's White in the clutch against lefty, and he loses 2 hits, 2-8 and 2-11. That's 2-4, though, and it's a line out to third, and snagged by Buechele, and Kilgus gets out of it. So Kilgus is going to go 3 innings in relief, and he's going to be in line for the win. As we go the 7th inning stretch, it is 10-9 Texas. And we'll see who the new pitcher is going to be for both teams, because Minton is done also. So the Angels will go to a lefty out of the bullpen. Not sure who that's going to be yet. It's going to most likely be, let's see here. Where's my bullpen for the Angels? What did I do with my bullpen? What happened to my bullpen? I had my bullpen here. Now I can't find them. How did my bullpen disappear? This is weird. Hold on, the Angel bullpen is in hiding right now. Oh, they got tucked in with the Texas bullpen somehow or another. I don't know how. I guess when I pulled Minton out, I accidentally put him over with Texas, the other pitchers. So they have a couple guys they can go to, Gary Lucas, Chuck Finley, or Dwayne Bice. So I think they're going to go with Chuck Finley out of the bullpen. Finley will be coming on for the Angels. Get his numbers here at the 7th inning stretch. Glad I decided to play a doubleheader because this first game is lasting quite a bit. All right, so Chuck Finley coming on. Let's look at Finley's numbers. Real season for Chuck Finley on the 87 season. He was, if I can get the focus right, come on, give me something here. 2-7 with a 4.67 ERA. And he ended up no saves. On the replay, he's 3-5 with a 3.72 ERA and 1 save. So he's done significantly better. 48 innings pitched, 43 hits, 23 walks, and 33 strikeouts. So Finley will come on for the Angels. He is a -2 hold, so that makes him a -5. And he's going to be in there to face O'Brien, Parrish, and Incaviglia. Finley to O'Brien, lefty, 2-7. 2-7. And right in the middle of the at-bat, we get a potential spam call. Don't you got to love that? Potential spam call. Good thing I'm not recording on my phone like I used to do, or it would have kicked me off. So, not sure about a live stream. I know when I used to do recordings, it would kick me off. All right, let's see here. Pete O'Brien. I don't remember if I rolled or not for Pete O'Brien. I'm going to re-roll because I'm not sure what happened. All right. So I'm just going to re-roll because I got distracted by the call, so I'm not sure if I rolled or not. So I'm going to roll now. Do-over, as they say. Get a 4-6, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Schofield, 2E12. 2E12, 2-12 is good. 2-12. 2-12 is a G1. That's a 10, so you wouldn't think there'd be any errors on 10s. He's an E12, and there's no 10 there. So Schofield makes the play. You know, not to be this. Oh, let me back this up. I got too close here. I need to back this up. Not to sound morbid or anything like that, but it makes me wonder when Hal does finally pass away, what kind of what the community's going to do, what Strat's going to do in celebration and stuff like that. I don't know what made me think of that. I just did off the top of my head. I don't know why, but I don't know why that came to my head, but I was just thinking about that. All right, here's Larry Parrish. He is 2 for 2, and he's also been hit by a pitch and scored 3 runs. 6-5, and that's going to be a walk, so he's going to reach base for the 4th time. No threat to run. Here's the man, Incaviglia. He has homered twice and doubled. Driven in 7 runs. I know I've had a 7 RBI. I've not had like a 9 RBI game or anything. So if he hits another home run, that would be historic in the replay. 6-6 on Finley is a walk. So Finley didn't want to mess with him either. Back-to-back walks after one are away, and now it's back to the lefty-lefty matchup with McDowell. So Finley pitching too carefully to the right-handers. Now go after the left-hander, O-to-B McDowell. 1-5, and he walks McDowell, loads the bases. Wow. Gene Malk's not going to stand too much longer for this. Mike Stanley is the batter, but the bases are now loaded. With only 1 out, infield is playing back for the double play to get out of the inning, hopefully. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. Finley, a much-needed strikeout. And now it's down to this. Steve Buechele, clutch situation. He has walked twice and struck out. 10-9 Texas, bottom of the 7th, but they're looking for more. Clutch situation for Buechele, and in the clutch against lefties, he gains a hit on 1-4. Everywhere else, it is the same. 5-3, and that's going to be a ground ball first base X. So Joyner, a 1-E11, a 1. We know he's going to get to it as a 1. So as an E11 first baseman, he's got to avoid 6, 8, 15, 3, and 18. And he does with the 12. So nice play by Joyner to save the day there and not allow more runs to score. So it's 10-9 as we go the 8th. And Texas will need a new pitcher. And we'll see who that's going to be as we go to the top of the 8th. Let's see who's got the rest and who doesn't. Let's see here. Who might they go to here? They're going to go to Jeff Russell out of the bullpen. Jeff Russell. 87, he was just starting out, but he became a closer in the late 80s, early 90s for several teams, I think. So Jeff Russell, and we'll get the numbers on Kilgus so I can finish out his line there. +4 on the hole, that's not good. All right, let's go to the bullpen. The box score and get the numbers on Kilgus. Kilgus goes 3 innings, gives up 6 hits and 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, but he is the pitcher of record. Kilgus and Minton are the pitchers of record. But Russell, let's get the numbers on Russell, real world and everything else. Jeff Russell, 5-4 with a 4.44 ERA in the real season with 3 saves. And on the replays, 2-2 with a 6.08 ERA, no saves, 24 innings pitched, 29 hits, 10 walks, 17 strikeouts. And Devon White will lead it off. I'm sorry, Joyner will lead it off. I don't know why I have Devon White up there. Don't bat out of turn, folks. It is Joyner stepping to the plate against Jeff Russell. 6-7 lefty, and that's a walk. That's just what they didn't need, more walks. Yet another walk. That's another thing that's making this game go so long are the walks. You go to the box score here and total up all the walks in this game. So far combined, we are looking at 12 walks in the game. 12 walks and 21 hits combined, plus 2 hit by pitches. So that's really like 14 walks when you throw in the hit by pitches. So here is Devon White. Devon White, Joyner not being held. Not Devon. Why does Devon White keep coming up there? It's Doug DeSensei. I don't know why they keep getting out of order like this. It is Doug DeSensei who's at bat. My bad. 4-11, and that's a ground ball first base X. We are looking at O'Brien. He was not holding Joyner on, so he keeps his 2 to 2E12. No, today is not a doubleheader. No. 2E12. 2-1. Oh, boy, 2-1. That's just terrible. Bad luck there on the double die. 2-1 is a single with 1 star. So Joyner takes third. That's a 13, and O'Brien's a 12 at first base. E12, there's no 13 there, but that 1 on the double die sneaks it through, and all of a sudden the first 2 are on. And here comes Jack Howell. Jack Howell. .27, and that's a single to left field. It's anti-clutch, but there aren't 2 outs, so the single is good. And they're going to freeze Joyner at third base. Bases are loaded, so Jeff Russell comes in, gives up a walk and 2 singles, and now we got Bob Boone. And now the Texas bullpen loosening again. Mitch Williams, the Wild Thing, loosening in their bullpen. Let's see if Russell can get out by Boone. They're playing back for a double play. They're desperate for outs. 1-5 for Boone. That's a pop out to short. That's huge. Infield fly rule keeps everybody on their base. 1 out, and now a double play will get you out of the inning. Dick Schofield, your batter. But if you can turn a double play, if you're Texas, you can get out of the inning. And that's what Russell was hoping to get, either that or a strikeout. 3-6 for Schofield is a ground ball shortstop A. The plus doesn't matter because they're playing back. And that is a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. And if there was ever a time for a tailor-made double play, it is now. 3-6. Schofield, ground ball shortstop A. 6-4-3. Russell gets out of the jam. Giovanni's Tailor Shop strikes again. The tailor-made double play of the game is sponsored by Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Stop by if you're in that area. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the game. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Score still 10-9. 10 runs, 10 hits, and an error for Texas. 9 runs, 13 hits, and no errors for California. Due up for the Rangers, Brown, Fletcher, and Sierra. So Finley back out, trying to keep things where they are. Jerry Brown did double his last time up. He was 0 for 3 previous, but see what he does here against Brown. 3-10. That's a fly to left field, hauled in out there by Jack Howell. 1 away. And Mitch Williams will be coming in to pitch the 9th. Try to close it out. Here's Fletcher. 2-9, and that is a single for Fletcher. Texas looking for some insurance. Fletcher, let's see. Finley's a -5, though, so I don't think they're going to test anything. Not when you got a big guy, Sierra, coming up. So Sierra against Finley, 6-4, switch hitter batting right. That is a strikeout by Finley, a huge one. 2 down, and that's going to send up Pete O'Brien. Lefty-lefty matchup. Runner at first, 2 down, 10-9. Rangers looking to get an insurance run. 4-6, lefty-lefty is a ground ball shortstop X. They were holding Fletcher on, so Schofield becomes a 3-E-12. 3-E-12 for Schofield. 3-18 doesn't matter about holding him on because he's going to get to that. That's a 12, and he is an E-12. 12 and a 12 at shortstop. 12 and a 12. There is no 12 there, so it's good play for Schofield. And we will go to the 9th inning. 10-9 ball game. And coming on is the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. He will be on to try to save it for the Rangers. Russell will go 1 inning. He's going to give up 2 hits and a walk, but more importantly, no runs. And Mitch Williams coming on. Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. Bring him on in the computer. Gary Pettis is set to lead off, but of course there are pinch hitting possibilities if the Angels choose to go in that direction. So let's look at Mitch Williams. Mitch Williams, the Wild Thing, 1987, 8-6 with a 3.23 ERA. You can see in 109 innings pitched, he walked 94, struck out 129. So who knows what's going to happen here. Mitch Williams. On the replay, Mitch Williams is 0-3 with 10 saves and a 6.67 ERA. So he's been very erratic. 30 innings pitched, 23 hits, 29 walks in those 30 innings. So I'm complaining about all the walks, and now I bring in the Wild Thing. So where's my head on that one, I wonder. All right, let's look at the Angel bench and see who they might, if they might want to pinch hit for Gary Pettis, although Pettis is 2 for 4 with great speed. But you do have this old guy sitting there on the bench that could possibly come in. right-handed hitting George Hendrick. He hit 241, whereas Pettis only hit 208. So I think they're going to make the move, and they're going to bring in this old guy, George Hendrick, to pinch hit for Gary Pettis. So the first pinch hitter of the game belongs to the Angels. It is George Hendrick, old man George. He's going to come on and pinch hit to start things off against Mitch Williams. So we'll get the numbers on Pettis. I'm sorry, on Hendrick. He's had a rough replay, to say the least. He is the only right-hander worth bringing in that I know of. They have Gus Polidor, but I'm not sure what kind of numbers Gus Polidor has. They got Daryl Miller, too. He's decent, the backup catcher, 241. Well, actually, Polidor, 263. So he might pinch hit for McLemore because McLemore is only 236. So we could see a double pinch hitter here, possibly. Hendrick on the real season, let's look at his card for 1987. George Hendrick, 241 hitter and 162 at-bats with 5 home runs. But he has been hurting on the replay. Took him a long time to get his first hit. He is hitting 152 in 33 at-bats. No homers, 3 driven in. See what he can do here. Hendrick against Williams. 10-9 ball game. I think I can get a little closer. I think I'm too far back here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. And just move this over a hair. Stay there for me. All right, there we go. All right, here's Hendrick. 5-8 for Mitch Williams. It's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Fletcher. 2E12 for Fletcher. 2 and a 6. He should get to that. 2 and a 6 is a G2. That's a 13. Fletcher is a E26 at short. E26. E26, and there is a 12 here, not a 13. That is a 12. So no error. It is a good play for Mr. Fletcher. And there's one away. Now, do they call back McLemore is the question and go to Polidor or Miller? They might actually go to Miller. No, Polidor's got a better average. Miller has better power. But against lefties, Polidor has power. So we're going to go with Gus Polidor to hit for McLemore. McLemore only a 236 hitter. Gus Polidor is a 263 hitter. Gus Polidor, 263 hitter. So Polidor is going to come on, and he's got normal power against lefties, weak against righties. So Polidor will pinch hit. So Mitch Williams having to deal with back-to-back pinch hitters facing him. Got through George Hendrick. Now he's got to get through Gus Polidor. We'll get Polidor's number on the replay. See how he has done. Now everybody on the bench, actually they're showing Miller is unavailable on the roster. I didn't know that. So actually Miller is not available. I take it back. We cannot use Miller. He's not available. So Polidor is in. On the replay, he's hitting 242, no homers, 2 driven in. Williams to Polidor, 6-5, and that's a walk. So Polidor reaches yet another walk. Walk by the wild thing. Who'd have thunk that? Now we're back to the top of the order. Polidor is slow as mud, but they just don't have any speed on the bases. And on top of that, I don't think they have anyone else to play second base, so they're going to have to keep him in there, no matter how slow he runs. And we are looking now at Brian Downing. Brian Downing is up with 1 out and a runner at first. That's a 4-9. Right-handed struck him out. So that's what you get with Mitch Williams. You get the walks and you get the strikeouts. So now 1 out away from preserving this victory and helping the Oakland A's extend their lead in the West. Something else. California had a 9-5 lead and saw it dissipate pretty quickly. So Devon White, who's hit 2 home runs in this game, both of those left-handed against Loynd, will turn around back right-handed against Williams. He does have normal power against righties, though. So could Devon White go deep for the 3rd time? 3-4. No, he does not. He pops it up to short, and there's your ball game. Mitch Williams hangs on, and the Rangers hang on to get a 10-9 victory. For Mitch Williams, that is save number 11 on the replay. He goes an inning, walk and a strikeout, typical Mitch Williams inning. And that's going to do it. The Texas Rangers defeat the California Angels by the score of 10-9. We go to our box score and wrap this up. 10 runs, 11 hits and an error for Texas. 9 runs, 13 hits, and no errors for California. Losing pitcher is the Moon Man, Doug Minton. He drops to 2-3. And we'll get the innings on Finley. He went 2 innings, gave up a hit, nothing else. He did walk 3 and strike out 2. And the winning pitcher is Paul Kilgus. He is 2-1 on the replay. Despite giving up 3 runs in 3 innings, he gets the win. Williams has 11th save. Pete Incaviglia, the player of the game, 3 for 3 with 7 runs batted in. So he is definitely, without question, the player of the game, Mr. Pete Incaviglia. Look at his line right there. 2-run homer in the second, 3-run homer in the fourth, a 2-run double in the fifth, and a walk here in the seventh. So Pete Incaviglia, your player of the game. Texas now improves to 29-39. Tough luck loss for California. They dropped to 37-35. And what that does to the standings right now, California now drops 6.5 back of Oakland. And Texas is now 12.5 back of Oakland with the victory. But yeah, Oakland right now is kind of running away with things. They're 6 games better than they were in real world. Problem is Minnesota is underperforming. Minnesota is 7 games worse in the replay than they were in real world. Because at this point, Minnesota should be in first place, but they are not. All right, so that's going to do it from here. The other games I'll play offline, or maybe push them to next week, because there's only one game scheduled for the 25th, and that's Cleveland, Minnesota. So I'm not sure if I'm going to maybe play that. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that. I might just jump ahead to the 26th and play these other ones offline, and come Monday, be ready for the 26th with new matchups and everything. That's what I probably will do. I'm not sure 100%, but have to think about it. So tomorrow is Saturday, so that means the NBC Game of the Week in Fall Classic 1979. Cincinnati Reds taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. That'll be roughly noon tomorrow, Eastern. And then on Sunday is Sunday Basic Sunday, where I play a game from 1962 Strat-O-Matic in the basic rules. If you are a fan of golf, or even care about any kind of golf, History Maker Golf, I will be playing. I've already recorded it. I'm going to upload it this afternoon, the first and second round, where we go through the cut line and get the 70 golfers who will make the cut. And then on Saturday, I've already recorded it. I will upload the third round, where we get our top 12 golfers and get all the golfers rated for their score, and get ready for the fourth round. And then on Sunday, we'll pick up the fourth round with the leaders starting the back 9. And the first group is on the 15th hole, and we'll check and see if there's any late contenders coming in, and we'll pick it up from there on Sunday. So that's the plan for events on the channel. Oh, I do both, Dr. D. I play them on the cards and dice, but I input it on the computer. So it's kind of the same deal. It's just I just don't record it. That's all, or I don't stream it, I should say. So I just do it that way. So yeah, Sunday Basic Sunday. Not sure what the matchup's going to be. It's going to be one of the opening days games from 1962 that I haven't played yet. So I'll try to find a decent matchup. Not sure who it will be yet. We'll figure it out somehow or another. And it doesn't really matter, because it's all the fun of playing Sunday Basic Sunday, just to be something different. With all respect to Bono. So, yep, it is a lot of games, no question about it. We just finished game 487. So Monday we'll start the June 25th date, and we'll look at who the matchups are going to be, because all the series are now over, and we move to the weekend because this was a Wednesday. The 25th, the only game on that Thursday is Minnesota and Cleveland. So I might record that maybe. I don't know what I'll do with that. I haven't decided yet. But then on the Friday the 26th, we get brand new opponents for everybody. So on Friday the 26th, this is what we have. We have the first game on Monday is a doozy. It is the Red Sox and Yankees from Yankee Stadium. Roger Clemens against Tommy John. That'll be Monday morning. Monday morning for Friday the 26th. Another scam likely. Scam likely. Boy, people like calling this phone for whatever reason. I don't know why. So Monday will be Boston and the Yankees. Tuesday is going to be most likely Baltimore and Detroit, or it could be, actually, you know what? It's going to be California and Chicago. I think it's going to be the game. Or do we go? No, change my mind again. Tuesday is going to be Oakland and Cleveland. Dave Stewart against Steve Carlton. That'll be the Tuesday game. The Wednesday game will most likely be California and Chicago. Jerry Royce for the Angels against Jose De Leon for the White Sox. And then we're looking at Toronto and Milwaukee. That's a key matchup for the top two teams. This time we're in Milwaukee. It's Jimmy Key against Bill Wegman. And then on Friday, we're looking at Minnesota and Texas. Frank Viola against Bobby Witt. And then I'll play Seattle, Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit. Will be played offline, most likely. Cool deal, Heiser. Glad you have joined the hobby, or at least joined the Strat-O-Matic hobby. It's great. It's my favorite game, obviously. I played a lot. I like a lot of baseball games on the board, on the cards and dice tabletop, but Strat-O-Matic is Strat-O-Matic, and there's no substitute for that. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. That's a look ahead at what's going to happen for the next week on the channel. I'm usually gone on Sundays, but this Sunday I'm going to be home. So I very well may play the June 25th game, the solo game on that Thursday, Cleveland, Minnesota. I may play that on Sunday. I'm not sure yet. But right now my Sundays are kind of, I probably won't though, because I'm already going to have the Sunday Basic Sunday game up there plus the golf. So I don't want to have 3 videos on one day. That would be overload big time. People be tired of hearing from me for all that stuff. So anyway, that's good to be here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Whatever you have planned, whether it's hobby, family time, whatever, enjoy that. But if you're so interested, Fall Classic Baseball tomorrow at noon, 1979, Cincinnati Reds, Pittsburgh Pirates. And later this afternoon, I will upload, probably about maybe 2 o'clock, I'll upload or put to public the first 2 rounds of the Farmers Insurance Open in San Diego, Torrey Pines. So we can see out of the 160, I think it was 162 golfers that made the trip out there to try to join the channel or to try to make the tournament. Of course, only 70 can. Now, when I did the first and second rounds, I didn't get 70. I got less than 70. But then I looked up in the book and saw that the book says if you get less than 70, then you add players. So before I start the third round, that video, when that started, I ended up taking the extra players I needed. So just because I had less than 70, don't freak out, because I do get to 70 in that extra round there. Any beginner tips? Are you playing basic only, or are you looking to delve into advanced or anything like that? Only tip I can give you is in the beginning when you start is make sure that you have the rule book handy and just try to be consistent. If you want to make your own house rules, that's fine, but I would just suggest that whatever you decide is a house rule, you stick to that so that it makes it a whole lot easier. You're not trying to go back and forth. So, and there's lots of videos out there, tutorial videos and stuff like that on how to play Strat-O-Matic. I've definitely watched those as well. There's a really neat guy. I think he's over in Europe somewhere. His channel, I think, is called Box of Delights or something like that. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he did a four-part Strat-O-Matic tutorial, which I thought was really, really good and well produced. That would be a nice thing to watch if I were you. I would watch that. See if I can find that channel for you, because now I'm curious because I forgot his name and I should know his name. Maybe I can find his channel here. And again, maybe not. Probably can't. Oh well. Oh, here we go. Box of Delights. So this guy here, called Box of Delights, I would definitely check out. He's got 4 parts. Part 1 I wouldn't worry about, because in part 1 he's talking about the rules of baseball in general, but part 2 is where he gets into the playing the basic game. So I would definitely check out the Box of Delights channel to learn the Strat Basic, because that's what, and he eventually gets to advanced and super advanced, but he does a very good, thorough job here. He spends 32 minutes doing the tutorial on the basic game. So I would definitely check him out. Box of Delights. You can see the name of the channel right there, Box of Delights. That's where I would go if I were you as a starter. That's what I would do. I think it's well produced. He does a really good job at it. So just my humble opinion on that. But also, like Dan said, there's lots of videos out there. So just scroll YouTube, and if you know, just look around. And it's good to watch different people. It's good to watch different people play it, because you get different perspectives. So not just tutorial. Sometimes you just watch by. Sometimes you learn by just watching people play their game. I mean, Jeffrey Guterman has a lot of Strat-O-Matic advanced games on his channel. Lots of them here, obviously, but I would encourage you to watch other folks play as well, because you pick up different things from different people. But if I was starting somewhere, I'd start with Box of Delights. That's where I would start. That would be my advice to you. That, and have the rule book handy. So, all right, so that's going to do it from here. Oh, yeah, Spokane Steve. I forgot about him, Dan. You are absolutely correct. I would definitely check out Spokane Steve, and he's pretty consistent. He plays pretty much every day. I think it's around 4:30 Eastern, because he's out on the West Coast, obviously. But I think around between 4:30 and 5 Eastern, he posts every day. He's playing the 1960. Oh, he's on vacation right now. Well, you can check out his stuff from his catalog or whatever, because he's playing the 1966 season. Not a problem, Heiser. Not hijacking anything. We're just, if we can help a new person, that's part of our, or at least part of my mission. Because I don't want to feel like I'm preaching to the choir. I'd rather preach to somebody that needs preaching to, for lack of a better term. But helping out somebody that's just coming along. I mean, the veterans, they know what they're doing. So it's nice to see a new perspective, new person join the hobby and the group. And of course, you can check out the Strat-O-Matic Facebook page, things like that as well. So, and Dan, I plan on going to Walmart today to get some items, and they do have the Barnes and Nobles right down the street. I may sneak in there and just see if I can find this Strat-O-Matic thing that you're thinking of, that you're looking at. And if I do see it there, I will be I'm telling you, I'll be very tempted to buy it, because I did not get the 2025 set at all. I skipped that. And part of it was the shipping. Plus, I got other things. I'm just not that interested in the new season. But as a collector, of Strat. I've gotten the season every year from 2014 till now. Uh, so we'll see. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And if you can catch anything that I put up over the weekend or do over the weekend, great. If not, I will see everybody Monday morning at 9 for the Red Sox and Yankees from Yankee Stadium. Roger Clemens against Tommy John from Yankee Stadium. That'll be on Monday morning, roughly 9 to 9:15 Eastern. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.